Well, howdy, adventurers. I've got more stories than a bard at an alehouse. So pull up a chair and let's dive deep into a topic that's as complex as a labyrinth designed by an ancient wizard. Does racism belong in Dungeons & Dragons? First things first, let's cast a tech thoughts on this subject. D&D has always been a game of limitless possibilities, where imagination is the only boundary. But with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, I know that's from a different genre, but stick with me here. The question of incorporating racism into your campaigns isn't just a simple yes or no. It's a nuanced discussion that involves player safety, storytelling depth, and ethical considerations. Player safety and session zeros are probably the most important part of this video, which is why it's first. Before you even think about introducing a heavy theme like racism, it's crucial to have a session zero. This is the pre-game meetup where you discuss the campaign's themes, settings, and boundaries. Think of it as casting SHIELD before entering combat. You want everybody to feel protected. Ask your players how they feel about sensitive topics, and if someone's uncomfortable, it's the DM's responsibility to adjust accordingly. Remember, consent isn't just for vampires seeking an invitation into your home, it's for creating a safe and enjoyable game environment for everybody. In the early editions, certain races were often depicted in monolithic ways. Orcs were brutish and evil, drow inherently wicked, and so on. These portrayals mirrored outdated stereotypes and have been criticized for perpetuating simplistic and harmful narratives. Over the years, the game has evolved, and Wizards of the Coast has made strides to address these issues, emphasizing that alignment and morality are individual choices rather than dictated by any race. For example, introduction of orcs and drow who defy their traditional roles adds layers of complexity to the game world. In D&D, the term speciesism might be more accurate than racism. Different species like elves, dwarves, humans, goblins, they coexist, and often not peacefully. These tensions can enrich your world building. Imagine a city where elves and dwarves have a long-standing rivalry, leading to segregated districts and mutual suspicion. This can create intriguing scenarios for your players to navigate. But here's the critical hit. You, as the DM, must handle this thoughtfully to avoid reinforcing negative stereotypes or making players uncomfortable. So, incorporating racism into your storytelling, use it responsibly. Themes of racism can serve as a powerful storytelling tool. They can provide conflict, drive character development, and offer social commentary. For instance, your party might encounter a town where a corrupt regime oppresses a minority group. This sets the stage for players to become heroes who challenge injustice, or perhaps a character grapples with their own prejudices, offering a personal arc of growth and redemption. But beware the pitfalls. Racism should never be portrayed in a positive light or used for cheap shock value. It's not about creating a villain who is evil just because, but exploring the deeper reasoning and consequences of such beliefs. This adds depth to your narrative without glorifying negative aspects. And you can even build it into your personal character if you're a player. For players looking to add layers to their characters, incorporating experiences with racism can be impactful. Maybe your half-orc bard has faced prejudices in human cities, fueling their desire to prove themselves through art. Or your tiefling rogue was ostracized due to their infernal heritage, leading them down a path of isolation and mistrust. When crafting these backstories, communicate with your DM to ensure it fits within the campaign's context. Also, be mindful of not overshadowing other players' experiences or triggering discomfort. Again, see earlier about a session zero. The goal here is to enrich the story, not to dominate it with heavy themes. You can enhance the game through inclusive storytelling. Inclusivity doesn't mean avoiding difficult topics, it means handling them with care. DMs can create narratives that challenge societal norms within the game world. For example, introducing a progressive kingdom where different races coexist harmoniously can serve as a beacon of hope in a tumultuous world. Alternatively, a quest could involve dismantling a corrupt system that enforces racial segregation. By approaching these themes thoughtfully, you provide players with opportunities for heroic actions that resonate on a deeper level. It's like upgrading from a regular longsword to a flaming sword of justice. Speaking of enhancing your experience, if you're looking to get even more out of your TTRPG adventures, you should check out my Patreon. Supporting me there is like unlocking an endless supply of bonus content, ad-free episodes, and even exclusive giveaways. Plus, you're helping to make TTRPGs, like Dungeons & Dragons, my full-time gig. And who wouldn't want more of that? Link is in the description below. So I've got some practical tips here for DMs and players, for the DMs. Communication is key. Always maintain an open dialogue with your players. Check in regularly to ensure everybody is comfortable with how the story is unfolding. Avoiding stereotypes. When you create cultures and societies, avoid basing them on negative real-world stereotypes. Be original and respectful in your world building. If you introduce themes of racism, also provide avenues for the players to address and resolve these issues positively. A few tips for the players. Use experiences with discrimination to add depth to your character, but don't let it define your character entirely. Balance is essential. Collaborate with your DM. Work together to ensure that your backstory fits seamlessly into the campaign and doesn't conflict with boundaries set during Session 0. Be respectful. Remember, your fellow players might have different comfort levels. Keeping the game enjoyable for everybody is important. So, looking back on classic D&D modules, there are several instances where themes of racism are present. In the Dragonlance series, the tension between different races like elves and human is the recurring theme. The Forgotten Realms setting often explores these complex societies of drow elves, particularly in the stories of Drizzt Do'Urden. Once again, I can never pronounce anything correctly, so make sure to tell me how it's really pronounced in the comments below. A drow who rejects his people's evil ways. These stories delve into the struggles of characters facing prejudice and the challenges of defying social expectations. So why does this matter? You might be thinking, this is a game of fantasy. Why bring real-world issues into it? Well, D&D is a form of storytelling, and the best stories often reflect on real-world themes, offering a mirror to society. While some people avoid these topics, I think it can be a powerful storytelling tool. By thoughtfully incorporating topics like racism, we can explore these issues in a controlled, safe environment, fostering empathy and understanding among players. So my final thoughts on the topic of does racism belong in Dungeons & Dragons? I guess the answer isn't straightforward. It can belong if used responsibly to enhance storytelling and character development, but it requires careful handling. Always prioritize the comfort and enjoyment of your players. After all, the ultimate goal is to have fun while embarking on epic quests and rolling those dice. Unless you're a competent storyteller and experienced DM, I would say err on the side of caution and limit using it as much as you can until you're practiced at creating stories. Alright, adventurers, if you found this discussion enlightening, or at least more exciting than a mimic disguised as a treasure chest, don't forget to hit that like button, the bell icon to get notified every time I post a new video, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of Dungeons & Dragons. Your support means the world to me, and it helps keep this amazing community growing. Remember, the conversation doesn't have to end here. Join the Discord community, check out the Patreon, and please comment below, even if it's just to say hi. Until next time, my friends, keep rolling those dice, and may your quests be epic.